Hello, I'm Sudarshana Starshine Star. How are you guys doing? It's a beautiful Monday, June 2nd, 2025. I have a YouTube channel called It's the Dazzling of the Light, or you can just go to YouTube and type in at Sudarshana Starshine Star. I have over 200 clips there now. Why not check it out? I think it's pretty interesting and cool. There's a variety of topics, but I don't really do boring, so you'll never see me posting stuff about listing all the snacks I had in the day or something like that. I don't do stuff like that. I begin all of my clips with the 3 opening prayers, which are in Sanskrit and Telugu, and they are short. And this is to bless, uplift, purify, and sanctify you, me, and this clip. They are the Guru Mantra, the Ganesha Mantra, and the Gayatri Mantra. Om, Om, Om. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshvaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Om Suklam Bharataram Vishnum, Sashivarnam Chatobhujam, Prasanavaranam Dhyaye Sarva Vignopashantaye. Om Bhurbhuva Suvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Excellent. Well, I just not long ago, even though it's still uploading now, because when you do certain posts with certain titles, social media likes to take a long time to get those uploaded. Yep. But I'm grateful that they get uploaded. That's beautiful. So I just did a post today that was all about Harvard, with a secret sauce ingredient in there. So I think it's really worthy to listen to. And I had wanted this to go on the tail end of that, but I forgot. So this will be short. And this is really about a connection about the WEF, the World Economic Forum, with Harvard University, and Henry Kissinger, whose real name was Heinz, Heinz, Heinz. Yeah, I'm not going to say it here, but good old Heinz. Yep. Think of that name. That's what he was linked to, something that starts with an N. Okay, Heinz Kissinger and Klaus Schwab, and both of those are goners. So don't think that they're around no matter how it appears. They're goners, even though I think it was officially quoted that Kissinger corked off a while ago, but they've been goners. And believe me, they got their tribunals and treason, crimes against humanity, those are capital crimes. Okay, so this is something just short, a little clip. And I'm going to show, I'm going to put on this the thumbnail that shows in front of the WEF, the World Economic Forum, background drop at one of their meetings there. It's showing Henry, Heinz Kissinger, and Klaus Schwab together. So I'm going to put, I put that thumbnail there. And I want you also, I'll reference this again, but look at the, if you would, look at the World Economic Forum emblem, if you've never really examined it before, because the controllers, who are satanic evils, they call themselves elites, and they have armies and armies and armies of millions and millions of their minions that have been, working for them over the years and infiltrating everything over a very long time. But in their signage, whether it's a major corporation, or you think it's just like some company selling makeup, or some grocery items, or blah 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 blah, things like that, you say that's just a think tank. The satanic evils always have to tell us who they are. They always reveal it. It's just that we haven't had eyes to see it. We were not aware, for the most part. We were not aware of what was truly going on, what truly has been running this world for thousands and thousands of years. And if you look at the emblem for the World Economic Forum and you see that it has that, looks like half a circle running through it. It runs through, it intersects the first O in the word world, then it intersects the O in the first O in the word economic, and then it finishes by bisecting the O in the final word, which is forum. And that is, if you just look at it, that's making the 666. So just like we see in so many, I mean, I can't show you here, but just look at that one. And you can see, you can take a pen and write the first 6, the second 6, the third 6. They love to do that. And the funny part is, like almost everything, the satanics, because the devil is not creative. He has to copy from the true creator, which is Mother, Father, God. And from Mother, Father, God's true children, divine sparks of God, those are the humans. So the evils and their minions are very left-brained. They're the ones that turned from God and eschewed their right side of their brain, their intuition, their creative wellspring, and that via their heart and their connection to Mother, Father, God. And they just rely on their left brain, which is why you see there is a difference between people that are Satanists and people that are Luciferians. And I'm going to do a post on Satan and Lucifer and the origin. I've just had, the news cycle is just so fast paced now, and I have so many things I want to put out. I honestly, it's a little bit challenging to put these things out, but I love to do it. So the Luciferians, as you might see, how they're so in love with the intellect. That's what you might see of the, you think, especially these last years have shown, people that have espoused taking those, I just call them recipes, those recipes that were forced upon many people that were called mandatory in the event that happened several years ago related to lockdowns. You know what I'm talking about. So that special recipe that all the government said you have to, take this. You might think to yourself, I've never seen so many people with so many degrees, college degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, or in these high level, supposedly, intellectual careers and jobs or maneuvers, whatever's going on, be so dumb. Like, they're so dumb. They have, like, where's their common sense? It's just, that's one of the, it's a shame, because the intellect is a tool. We are not the intellect. We are our divine consciousness, or in my tradition from ancient India, it's called Brahma consciousness, is above that and is really much more accurate and pinpoint and authentic than the intellect. The intellect is a tool to be used. It's our tool, but not to worship. I say never worship at the altar of the intellect. But that's part of Luciferianism. It is also part of Satanism, but it's evidence in Luciferianism where you'll see people that are just so in love with logic and reason, and they will calmly and coldly condemn a people, like even through what we call, unalivings on a mass scale, because they say, well, that is logical, or the outcome is desirable. It makes more sense, like weighing it on the scale of logic and reason. And that is very devilish. Yes. All right. So here's this thing I want to read, a little quick thing. I already told you what the thumbnail is going to be. And okay, so here we go. The World Economic Forum's recorded history has been manufactured to appear as though the organization was a strictly European creation. But this isn't so. In fact, Klaus Schwab had an elite American political team. Oh, by the way, Klaus Schwab was really a Rothschild. You know how the satanic elites always, they have many bastards, and also they insert their own children into many families, and they try to hide the bloodline. So that they call us useless eaters, or goyim, the cattle. They, wanted to hide from us exactly who they were. So you don't look around and you think, why is the DoorDash person a Rockefeller? Why is the banker a Rockefeller? Why is the person selling insurance a Rockefeller? Why is my governor a Rockefeller? Why is the mayor a Rockefeller? Why is the general manager of my building complex a Rockefeller? So you don't look around and think, for example, I'm using that word, one of the Illuminati families, one of the satanic bloodline families of the Illuminati, or you could say the Cabal or the Khazaria Mafia. There are many different names. But anyway, so you're not wise to that. So you think, oh, this is a different person. I'll give a quick example that I love to give. Bill Clinton, who is not walking, is unalived, is not walking around on the earth for treason and crimes against humanity, had a military tribunal. Bill Clinton was really a Rockefeller, a bastard Rockefeller. His grandfather, Winthrop Rockefeller, always cordially had his grandson, Bill, celebrate up at the family main compound every summer with all of his little Rockefeller cousins. He's very much a Rockefeller. And Hillary Clinton was really, and I've shown this on other social media, a great family photo. And maybe I showed it here several months ago on the top of a clip. I'm not sure. But it shows the Bush family there, and sitting on the grass is little, what you might think is little, call her little Hillary Clinton, but her real name was Kelsey Bush. Yes, she was born into the Bush family, who's really, the Bush's true name is Scherf, and they are related to Germanic bloodlines and English nobility, but like the Khazaria Mafia, like the Illuminati, like the Cabal, like the, infiltrated Freemasonic, satanic, Luciferian families, they changed their names a lot. It helps to get away with a lot of crimes and misdoing when people don't associate the criminal with that same name anymore. So they do a lot of name changing, and they have for thousands of years. These bloodlines are, you can call them seed of the serpent or children of Cain. And I've spoken about this a lot. Go to my YouTube channel if you're interested. I have a series called The Controllers. And also sometimes I talk about it on my Real series. You can check that out. And I encourage you to do so because I think it's pretty fun to be informed. Okay. And it also sparks desire to investigate for yourself, right? And to uncover these things and learn these things for yourself, not just because I'm saying it. Don't just believe me blindly. I would prefer it if people just took whatever I'm saying as an inspiration point and then did the independent research for themselves. And by that, I don't mean watching flat screens in TV or using Wikipedia or Google as research tools, or reading mainstream lying rags like the Washington Post or New York Times or San Francisco Chronicle or things like that. No. Okay, back to this, what I'm reading. Anyway, the World Economic Forum's recorded history has been manufactured to appear as though the organization was a strictly European creation, but this isn't so. In fact, Klaus Schwab had an elite American political team working in the shadows that aided him in creating the European-based globalist organization. If you have a decent knowledge of Klaus Schwab's history, you will know that he attended Harvard in the 1960s, where he would meet then Professor Henry A. Kissinger, a man with whom Schwab would form a lifelong friendship. But as with most information from the annals of the World Economic Forum's history books, what you've been told is not the full history. In fact, Kissinger would recruit Schwab at the International Seminar at Harvard, which had been founded by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency. Although this funding was exposed the year in which Klaus Schwab left Harvard, the connection has gone largely unnoticed until now. Research indicates that the World Economic Forum is not a European creation. In reality, it is instead an operation which emanates from the public policy grandees of the Kennedy, Johnson, and Nixonian eras of American politics, all of whom had ties to the Council on Foreign Relations and the associated, quote, roundtable, end quote, movement, with a supporting role played by the Central Intelligence Agency. There were three extremely powerful and influential men, Kissinger among them, who would head Klaus Schwab towards their ultimate goal of complete American empire-aligned global domination via the creation of social economic policies. In addition, two of the men were at the core of manufacturing the ever-present threat of global thermonuclear war. By examining these men through the wider context of the geopolitics of the period, I will show how their paths would cross and coalesce during the 1960s. how they recruited Klaus Schwab through a CIA-funded program, and how they were the real driving force behind the creation of the World Economic Forum. And once again, I encourage you to look at that. Take a look at the World Economic Forum emblem with its 666. Just like you can see with the signature of Walt Disney is made with the 666, just like you can see, for example, in the emblem of NASA, they have the large red forked serpent's tongue intersecting through the blue circle that's part of the NASA emblem. It's the, the big serpent, like the seed of the serpent beings. Yeah, they love to put that in there. So they always show you what they are. It's just that you have to have eyes to see and know that so much is conveyed and purveyed, and a lot of information is held within codes and symbols in this world and other worlds as well, but it's all over the place. So I hope you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you for being here with me. I end all of my clips with the closing prayer in Sanskrit and Telugu. And what I'm saying is, God bless all beings in all worlds. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yes, peace, peace, peace. God bless you and yours. I'm sending much huge love and hugs to you and yours. I'll see you when I see you, and bye-bye for now.